Hello, guys, and welcome to this particular talk with you. This is under the School of Technology, and today we will have a very important topic to talk about, which is being stuck in tutorial zone. So, are you stuck in tutorial zone? Are you having trouble breaking out from that zone where you feel like you don't know enough, even after you've studied and watched a lot of videos, gone through a lot of quizzes and some evaluations and all? So that reminds me, my name is Bosoye Kachuku. I'm a system analyst, and today we're going to be talking about this. Now, I want us to kind of take an agenda what we are going to be taking in stock today, or what we're going to be learning. So, the first thing that we're going to take in stock is for us to understand what is wrong with being stuck in tutorial zone, or what is happening to you at that point. And then the other ones are going to highlight the method to which you're going to break away from this. Now, this is very close to my heart, very close to my heart indeed, because during the point where when I was learning programming, it wasn't always online kind of thing. I read part of my programming using PHP for Dummies and some other things that I did, and I also watched a lot of YouTube videos. But I felt like most of the times that I was stuck in this tutorial and I kept searching how to break out of it, I felt like most of the videos I saw were more concentrated on getting views than helping out. Okay, I don't care about the views on this. All I care is that you break away because now it's part of me pushing out my story to you. I was stuck to the point that I had two hard drives filled with different tutorials. And there was a very interesting part of the things that was happening to me is that I will go to another channel. I had two courses running on Udemy and one course on Coursera. And it was a lot of challenges for me because when I go to this tutorial and I watch the content, it's contradicting with the one I've watched earlier or somewhat different, not necessarily contradicting. And it's quite very challenging to stay in that lane of always repeating habits and all. So at the end of the day, you find out that you lose the motivation to which you have even started the project at first or the learning process. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is to identify what the issue is. Identifying the problem is the key. So where are you stuck at? Have you completed a particular tutorial? If you have, because this is a video for someone who have gone through the tutorial process, you've learned, you've gone through the tutorial process to the end, you've done your evaluations, but still you feel like you don't know much and you keep getting stuck in that moment of uncertainty to know whether your skill is there yet or whether it's not and all. So you can't actually break free from that. So the first thing I want to advise is that you have to build a project. Now, most of the times people don't really know this. Most people just sit back and watch the tutorial, even when the instructor is giving project or pushing out things in the repository, giving access to learning assets and learning documentations and all. Now, if you don't follow along this project, you might likely not get the job done. For example, they say practice makes perfect. When you are learning, what you're doing is you're training your brains to insulate this knowledge in order for you to become a second habit to you, a second knowledge, whereby whenever you close your eyes, you can deliver. Now, it's important that whenever you're learning, even if you're learning HTML, just learn how to build a form, build a project, build a one-page website, build links. But whenever you're practicing all these things, you find out that you are climatizing with them and you're familiarizing yourself with the knowledge. And that's very important. Very important. Now, I don't want to make this so long, so let's go to the next one. The second on the list is going to be something very important, and it is very, very important. Don't cram your code. Understand how it all works. It's better that way. Now, most challenges that people face is because they go and think professionalism is about knowing everything that it has to do with the code, learn where the comma is, where the semicolons are, and everything. It's fine if you can carry that. I salute you. But that means most of these platforms, which are created for as an assistant bodies, like for example Stack Overflow, is meant for these purposes. What I'm advising you on this note is you don't have to cram all the codes. Because when I started off too, it's actually a problem with me because I felt like I have to know it. That when you place me on test and ask me a particular thing, I will get it immediately. You might not start off that way. I think the best way to do is when you eventually start using this method or using these practices or searching for these things and getting them, you find out that your brain just gets this information and put it in. It's more like you sitting in a bar and you're just eating. That's your interest. That's or maybe you're drinking in a bar or you're eating in a restaurant. But that's your basic focus. You were not focusing on anything. But there's a music playing in the background. But somehow, this music keeps getting to you. You might not know it, but one day in the bedroom, you're humming the music. You'll be like, oh, I had it in that bar. Stupid. But the thing is, the same thing applies to this. When you're building, you get these assets, you get these things to put. All you have to know, and all I would advise you to do is get familiar with this concept. Get familiar because when you do all this, what you do is you encourage yourself and enact this chemical called dopamine in your brain in order for it to encourage you to still learn. Because when you don't cram, you find out that you've understood that you are not supposed to be a genius when you start off. The level of professionalism, that's what people get wrong when it comes to coding specifically. And this can apply to any skill you're learning, but I'm speaking specifically to people that are programming or learning coding. So these things has always been misconcepted that a programmer who is supposedly a senior programmer is supposed to be someone who has the whole library in their head, knows the whole command, the whole full stop, and everything that has to do with it. Now, that's not true. I want to give you a simulation that happened to me. I have not been that experienced at that level or that point, but one thing I'm always good at is always jumping to find the troubles of what I can challenge myself with. I am good with searching. I will go and search and find the answer to what I'm looking for and implement. And it's always great for me. But the thing is, there's this guy, he's a professional and he kept, I am a professional, he learned it all. He went through the normal schooling process. I am self taught. I went through YouTube, I went through courses, I went through all this. I don't even have a background in computer science. I came from a physics background. But the thing is that the technology industry captured my mind and I wanted to go in for it. And at the end of the day, what actually happens is the first off is this guy keeps placing himself above others because when small jobs come like this, he wouldn't want to do them. He will shift it down to us, go and price them. That's the kind of people that will do the pricing or do the kind of job. I did free jobs, a lot of free jobs. And what I realized is at some point of me, before I left that environment, the guy would come and ask me for how did you implement that thing that you did for that job? It's not I'm not trying to commonize him being the senior. He's the senior, but the seniority doesn't come with you cramming everything at once. It comes with you starting off somewhere. Start off, build project. Don't cram the knowledge. Just cram everything. Just understand the syntax, the functions, the basic operations of the algorithm, and how the programming languages work. If you understand that these programming languages are used for these specific purposes, they can be used here and they cannot be used here because of this, because of that. When you get those knowledges, you find out that it's easier for you to go forward to really understand how to do. Now, the next one is get a mentor. This is quite very important, and I would like to talk about it quite very all right on trying to make emphasis on this. Mentorship is key for you to really understand and break out from some of the things that we are getting stuck in. And when you have someone who is an oversight, who looks at you and be like, okay, what have you done today? What did you do tomorrow? What are you planning to do tomorrow? And what have you achieved since last month we spoke? You find that the oversight is really, really important. It helps you, it helped me. I know that I had I had someone who I regarded as an oversight. He actually gave me a very good guideline in my life to define my moment. His name is Sheriff Awonuga. He helped me in discovering because there was some point in my life I was learning everything. That was because I was tired with what I was learning, so I was just looking for any other thing that was kind of easier to learn. But nothing is easy to learn. The thing is, it is based on your interest that makes the subject matter simplified. Understand that? So at that point, the clarification was made because anytime I'm learning, he gave me some certain advices that helped me. At this point, I feel thankful because when I have realized how much time I've wasted running in circles, and if I take back now and say if I have gone through that route without his intervention, you find out that at this point I might still be confused on identity of what I want to present. But he helped me to get that. So I'm asking is get a mentor. I have several mentors at now. He's still one of them. I have several mentors in different areas of my life. And I would like you to get a mentor when it comes to what you're learning. Be accountable. Now, I want to tell a story there, just a little bit one. When I do teach in School of Technology most of the time, we conducted one free bootcamp program. It was supposed to be free. Now, before he went to marketing for them to start advertising for that program to come up, I told them, no, we're not going to do it free. We're going to do it, put a monetary value to it. We're going to make it 3,000 naira. Now, the interesting part is the 3,000 naira is a little token compared to what we're doing. It's supposed to be some programs that will run for a few days, and we are teaching the whole syllables from zero to you running off and learning and still give you the access to mentorship as you go along with the career part. Now, but the point of charging wasn't because of the money. We were never interested in the money, but we wanted to imbibe the attitude because I've noticed in most cases I teach people for free. I will be the one to call them in the morning. Please come, let me teach you. It's terrible. It's terrible to follow up the person that you're doing a pro bono for. But when you get them to pay something, you see that it is my money mentality. That's what we need when we want to teach you. Wake up in the morning and say, this guy is owing me. Come and meet us. Then I'll teach you. That is what I wanted. So, and it always work because when you charge them and they come, some people will leave out the door. Yes. According to Dan Lok will say, I am not teaching those people. They shouldn't be in the room. Yeah. But if you can't get to that particular point, it's not like I can make it a token as low as $1. Yeah, 500 naira or something like that. So it's not about the amount, it's about the commitment. The same applies to be having a mentor. You are accountable to someone. Just get that into your head and understand that. Now, join a community because this is very important. Join a community. There are several communities here. You can see all of them on your screen. I'll put the links to some of them in the description below so that you can understand. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, it's fine. If you're watching it on YouTube, great stuff as well. I will make sure I put the link so that it will be easier for you to locate. Go to Stock Overflow, go to Hack News and everything. Just get information, get to a community, ask questions if you're confused. These places you can you can WJ School and so on and other platforms. You can get information about how to implement certain things if you're confused. And most importantly, because I didn't get into that, the most important thing you have to understand that you can. You have to imbibe in this community and also open yourself to challenges. There are some programs, there are some places that you could go for code challenges. You can work to get all these challenges that you would do. You just sign up and do code challenge. What that thing does, it helps you grow. It helps you grow. It changes the whole narrative, and that is the end of our class. So, thank you very much for this, and I hope I didn't blow your time based on your requirements. So, this is School of Technology. What we're doing is trying to change the African narrative by teaching people skills. Now, we are preachers of the gospel of skills, technical skills, digital skills, and everything, so that you can have these and support yourself, not just as being employed, no, or employing someone, no. It's more like you having a second backup plan aside your formal education. Thank you very much for this and have a good time. Please feel free to ask questions. I'm reachable through every social media platform. I'm on Twitter, I am on LinkedIn, I am on Facebook, and I have my WhatsApp contact in my LinkedIn profile as well. You can reach out to me and ask questions and I will respond to you. Thank you very much for being here and have an amazing time. Ciao.